Now we've got Saturn in Aquarius. And with this being said, this is lesson number 1, the big lesson that Tory is going to have to learn. You see, Saturn is I liken Saturn to a stepfather or to a father who says you're going to have to go to your room, you're going to have to receive punishment until you get the lesson. And so with Tory, his Saturn, his lesson is in Aquarius. And who has that sun sign in Aquarius? None other than Meg the Stallion. So we got big lesson 1. His lesson is you have to watch for certain types of energy. You see, Aquarius deals with your crowd, your friends, the people that you have around you. And Tory looked around when he was getting locked up and he said, I had this person around me, I had that person around me, they betrayed me, they did all these things. Aquarius deals with you watching yourself while dealing with the crowd, the people out there. It means that Tory has to learn how to maneuver amongst people that he knows. If this guy's a bad influence or if this woman is a bad influence, then Tory has to learn how to keep away. Aquarius has to learn, Saturn in Aquarius has to learn how to separate myself from the people that I'm dealing with. And that's a hard lesson for Tory because he's so emotional, because he's so big-hearted. Now because he's suffering in jail because of the things he was accused of, he's having to learn that I gotta watch out for me. I have to be more focused on me and what I'm getting into around these people, because the group of people that I'm around have caused such a ruckus that now I'm getting locked up. Now I owe that money. Now I don't have that relationship. Now I don't have that freedom. Now my career could be taken away. Even though I'm making these hits and these great, albums and mixtapes while I'm in jail, that could be taken away. Why? Because I associated myself with the wrong people. Saturn is the big lesson. Saturn is the father that says you will continue to get these spankings until you learn. And that is Tory's first lesson, is to not only watch Aquarius energy, but also to learn from it. Learn the lesson from it. Learn how to watch out for you, even though you're amongst others. The water bearer, Aquarius, watches themselves. It's separate. You notice in the water bearer, the glyph, that the water bearer has emotion in its hand, but it deals with it outside of itself. Aquarius energy does deal with emotion, but it deals with it from a logical, detached standpoint. And Tory has to learn how to detach to be the water bearer in order to not get those spankings from Daddy Saturn. Okay, after you get past Saturn, you get to Uranus, you get to Neptune, you get to Pluto. These planets are often generational placements. So when you see Uranus in Capricorn, when you see Neptune in Capricorn, those are about the generations that people grew up around. And also when you see Pluto in Scorpio, yes, Pluto factors into your chart, but when it comes to you overall, it's a generational influence. It's a generational energy that we're also applying there. So we're going to skip to something that I also want to point out as big lesson number 2 for Tory Lanez. And what we're going to have is we're going to have Lilith in Aquarius. Now, who else had Aquarius in the sun? Megan the Stallion had Aquarius as her sun sign. And Lilith for a man is the woman who can take you down. Is the woman who you may be a bit afraid of because of her abilities, because of the weakness that you may have for her. She may get in that weak spot and make your life completely hell. And that's for men, but also it works amongst women as well. But when we're talking about Tory, we talk about Meg, and we talk about that Lilith in Aquarius. That woman, even if Tory did do those things he was accused of, she helped cause the downfall. She was there. She was incremental in the whole going to jail thing. She was involved. He was around an Aquarius woman, and then his life crumbled. So it is not to blame or shame Meg, but it is to say that Tory, had I been his astrologer, I would have said, hey, what's her sign? What's her sun sign? I would have told Tory, you need to be careful around a woman like that, because that type of woman is detached from emotion, and she may bring about your downfall. Aquarius is known for this. Aquarius is known for emotionally detaching a bit. And so I would have told Tory, hey, you need to watch your back around this, because your Lilith is the part of yourself that's the shadow. It's the part of yourself that you might not acknowledge, but you're really like that. It's the part of yourself that you may keep restrained. It's the part of yourself that you may keep on a chain, but deep down, you identify and you move like it. And you may not want to admit that. Tory may not want to admit that he's a bit of a rebel. Tory may not want to admit that he's a bit of a thrill chaser, thrill seeker, kind of like Aquarius can be. That he wants something new so bad that he may risk things in order to get it. Because Aquarius will do that as well. They will do the risky thing because they're chasing risk, they're chasing excitement. But also that chase got Tory locked up and got him into further trouble. So with that being said, you always need to be careful about people who have Lilith placements or have that sun placement while you have a particular Lilith in your chart. Now let's talk about Tory's inner wound. You see, Chiron is the place of a wound in our life. Chiron was a healer who could heal other people, but he couldn't quite heal himself. And so this is the place in our life where we may identify with people who have that wound like we have, but we may not necessarily be able to fix our own, but we can help them because we know what it's like to live with it. So we can render assistance on that. And Tory's Chiron is in Leo. You guessed it. And a Chiron in Leo means that there is a wound in his ego. For all of the ego and the braggadociousness, Chiron in Leo believes maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not him. Maybe I'm not chosen. Maybe I'm just an average guy. Maybe all of this bragging and talking and moving big, maybe I'm not worth all that. Maybe I'm not really him. Maybe my songs ain't really good. You know, maybe people don't really like me like that. Chiron is the wound in your ego, your sense of self. And also you can do things out of a wounded ego. Because Tory maybe doesn't feel that he's enough, he chooses to date the baddest chick in the game wearing his chain. Because his ego is trying to fix it, is trying to say, I'm still him. I'm hurt. My ego is hurt, but I'm trying to prove to myself that I'm him. I'm trying to prove my self-worth through things. I'm trying to prove my self-worth through people who aren't necessarily good for me. But it makes me feel better about having such a low ego, low self-esteem. It makes me feel better to have that woman over there. It makes me feel better to go over there and mess with her friend. It makes me feel better to have all these different women having my kids because that boosts my sense of self-worth. But deep down, when ain't nobody looking, curtains closed, the lights are down, Chiron whispers in his ear, maybe you ain't good enough, Tory. Maybe you're not the man. And that's the fight that you have with your Chiron. It's a wound. It's the part of you that was hurt, maybe stifled in childhood. There are a lot of different routes to get to that. But we know for sure that Tory Lanez, despite all his bragging, has a big wound in his ego.